What does it take to get into heaven? I remember thinking about this all throughout my life, different stages and all that. And I remember when I was young, it was just be good, be a good boy. You'll be fine, and then worrying about all the little things I do, and then asking for forgiveness as a Catholic boy should, and reconciliation and confession. And then I remember growing up and getting into evangelicalism, and they always said, well, it's just about belief. You got to follow Jesus, have him in your heart, blah, blah, blah. But that never really was the case. That was the words that they would say. But the active practice behind it was there's a lot more to it. And we talked about this in Drop the Stones this week, where we're talking about afterlife and different possibilities and solutions, and this idea of heaven and hell and how it is just used to manipulate and control us by fear. And then we were looking at it and thinking about this heaven aspect, because we thought about the heaven that was always described in songs and in worship and just preaching to us this idea of golden streets and walls of all sorts of emeralds and gemstones of every sort, and wealth wasn't an issue, and the praising that would happen, the rocks and the trees and the grasses of the field would sing his praises, which one to me would annoy the shit out of me, because I like quiet. I grew up in a quiet house. I enjoy quiet. And when I get around noisy things, it makes me uncomfortable, anxious maybe a little bit, because I can't hear, I can't think, I can't process in that situation. So the whole idea of this constant praise and worship that was supposed to be done to the adoration of God didn't really, jive with me. And then you get to thinking about some of the other stuff, that goes along with it, just laying the crowns at his feet and all this. It wasn't an ideal place. It didn't seem like somewhere I'd want to spend eternity. It seemed kind of almost like hell, actually, to someone like me. And it got us thinking about what it takes, too. And we talked about what it takes to get into heaven and how much we keep saying to ourselves, it's just belief and believing in God and Jesus. The truth of the matter is, it's more than just belief. There's a lot of actions doing to it. And I think if we go back to our younger selves, we had more of a true sense of what it took to get in, to be good, to be a decent person, to love, to have compassion, empathy, and understanding for others. Now it seems like it's about making the church look good. What are you doing for the church? People aren't out helping the poor in churches. They're giving money to the church to make the church look good by giving money out. It's about we have to look good as a whole and not the individual. And I think that steals a lot from it, because now you're feeding that instead of actually taking care of stuff hands-on and dealing with it and understanding and coming alongside, because so many wrongs in this world would be taken care of if we just came alongside people we didn't understand or didn't know. But we robbed that from us and let the church be the intermediate for us, because that's how the system was set up. Because the church wanted to seem good and not have the focus on the individual. Die to self, serve the church, lift the church up. That's what will get you into heaven.